Hello everyone, it's your girl. So, this is a very different kind of video than what I usually do here. In fact, one of the reasons it's also pretty different is that I'm editing this. Unlike usual, where I usually just leave it to Wally as he's way better at video editing than I am. So you're probably wondering, why am I doing this? Well, the main thing is I didn't upload a video at all in January because...
Fuck you, it's January!
And I had a different video planned for February, but that became a larger thing than I was planning, so that most likely won't come out on time. Mix that with me trying to make sure my March video is ready on time, other obligations, and what have you, has led me deciding that I need a video out in February to keep my audience fed and not feel abandoned since that update video in December. So something I got back into recently is a game called Fortnite. You may have heard of it. I've been playing it on and off in between other things, and pretty conveniently around the same time I got pulled back into it, rumors started circulating that apparently Devil May Cry would be coming to the game, and as many of you know, I am a huge DMC fan, so that concept both excites me and puts the fear of bankruptcy in my soul. I saw this video by Burnt Cheese Productions discussing potential JoJo-related content in Fortnite, which I suggest checking out as well after this, simply due to it being the inspiration for this video that I'm making here. So, with these rumors and leaks of DMC coming to Fortnite, I thought it'd be a pretty good video to whip up all quick like to tide us all over until the larger stuff next month. I'll be discussing potential ideas for what Devil May Cry content I think could come to Fortnite. Now let's get into the big stuff immediately. The thing everybody immediately thinks about regarding Fortnite content, that being the skins. Getting the obvious out of the way immediately, because we all know it'll happen, Dante would obviously be their first choice, and let's not pretend like it'd be anyone else. I imagine his default design would either be his DMC3 look or his DMC5 look, but both would still be a part of the skin either way. For the third variant, I feel his DMC1 design is probably the most likely pick for that, and I'm pretty sure like every appearance of it in the past since the 7th generation of consoles, there'd be some small detail wrong about it, but otherwise it'd be a perfect translation like how the Project Cross Zone and Monster Hunter World takes make the coat the exact same color of red as the main outfit, or how Peak of Combat got the hair wrong. Now I'm the only one who cares about that? Good, just checking. I do think it'd be kind of funny if his third variant was Dino, i.e. the 2013 reboot design from DMC Devil May Cry, but realistically I don't see that happening one bit. The DMC1 look just makes way more sense to me for his third variant. His pickaxe would obviously be Rebellion, which would also be his back bling. It'd even come off his back directly when both are equipped, similar to other skins like Snake Eyes or Siri. This is good for me, as it means I could kill two birds with one stone here, and move right along to the potential glider. For his glider, I'm thinking Cavalier, you know, the motorcycle weapon from DMC5. It feels like an easy pick, and I'd hope that he'd actually ride it down. But unfortunately, it'll probably be like Ghost Rider's bike, where he surfs on it rather than riding it properly for some strange reason. I have another idea for a DMC glider, but I'll hold off on that until we get a little later into the video. You'll see why when we get there. Also, I feel for the season where the DMC stuff is introduced, the dual pistols will be unvaulted, and they may even see an Ebony and Ivory reskin just for the season. You know, if they want to go extra hard and be super cool about it. Speaking of guns, I had this idea that they could include a Devil May Cry themed wrap for the guns based on those barriers from DMC3. You know, the ones that block doors when you get locked in rooms with enemies? The idea of a moving pattern that looks like crimson tortured souls flying and flowing across the surface of like an AR or a shotgun just sounds really cool to me, and it would make for a really, really cool gun. At least I think so. I feel like if any of the Devil May Cry skins are locked behind the battle pass, it'd be Dante, since the trend is often to lock the main character behind the thing. See Geralt, Rick Sanchez, Peter Griffin, Solid Snake, and Eren Yeager as just some examples of this exact practice. I look forward to Dante being a part of Fortnite's FOMO problem. Now, I don't think it'd just be Dante as the singular skin, especially since Capcom skins of the past have had a pretty good track record of having more than one skin. For example, Resident Evil got Jill, Chris, Leon, and Claire, meanwhile Street Fighter got Ryu, Chun-Li, Cammy, Guile, Sakura, and Blanca. Wow, that's a lot. With that, I feel the next character who'd get a skin would be Virgil. His default design being either his DMC3 look or his DMC5 design. It'd be whichever design is from the same game Dante's default design is. So for example, if Dante's default look is based on his DMC3 design, then Virgil's default look would be his look from the same game. Either way, Virgil would probably only get 2 outfits for his skin, unlike Dante who got 3. Mainly because Virgil has way less designs. I mean, I guess they could give him his cloak from DMC5's intro, but That'd be like the snake goggle alt, where I can't imagine anyone picking that over the other two, so I don't really see a point in it. His pickaxe would be Yamato, which I imagine would be held with the sheath in the left hand and the sword in the right hand. You'd pull it out of the sheath when you switch to it, and then you'd swing it like Virgil, the second to last slice having you pull it back into the sheath, and the last swing being you pulling it back out before the animation just loops. I feel this is the best way to implement Virgil's Yamato as a pickaxe and make it feel right. Because Virgil holds his sword in his sheath usually, this means it's not on his back, which means I've got to come up with a back bling this time. I think a few options are on the table, mainly two options. One being Force Edge, which could go on his back in a similar fashion how it's worn when in that style when playing as Virgil in DMC3. Even having a variant of it where it's an ethereal blue blade version of it to mimic the false Force Edge from DMC5. The other back bling idea I have, if you don't want another sword back bling, is V's book. I know Virgil gave it to Nero at the end of DMC5, but I think it'd be a neat way to reference V and his connection to Virgil. Either way, I think they'd work as back blings for Virgil, and would be pretty cool. Next on skins, we have Nero and Lady, who I feel are natural picks if DMC were to get more than 2 skins. For those wondering why I think that, the obvious thing is Nero is the second protagonist of the series after Dante and has been since DMC4, and DMC5 simply cemented that fact. Meanwhile with Lady, it's simply because she's a fan favorite character and helps to add a woman to the cast of skins. With Nero, I feel he'd have his DMC4 and DMC5 designs for his variants. Unlike Virgil, I'm not even going to pretend like they'd even think about giving him a third variant personally. But if they did, I feel it'd either be his alt costume from DMC4 or the much lamer option of his EX colors from DMC5. Obviously, Nero's arm would change depending on which skin you had on him, with him having his demon arm when in his DMC4 skin and Overture for his DMC5 skin. Maybe they could implement a system where you could customize the arm yourself and play around and mix and match it, because I know edit styles are a thing in Fortnite, but I'm not going to push my luck here. It would be cool to be able to give him not only the demon arm and Overture, but the other Devil Bringers as well from DMC5. Hell, you could even include the Mega Buster as one if we go that far. Now, Nero's back bling is obvious to me. Red Queen, which would double as his pickaxe as well, and like Dante, would come off his back when you have it equipped as both. I also have a glider idea for Nero as well, that being his wings that he unlocked during the climax of DMC5. It'd be like the slider the snake got where it's mounted on his back. And at first I thought of the idea of him getting Kratos as his glider, like Kratos' monster form, and Nero would either surf on his back as he flew down or hold onto his ankles, which is admittedly pretty silly to visualize. This was before I remembered that Nero literally got wings at the end of 5, and decided that not only did that make more sense, but was also just a better idea. With Lady, I feel her costumes are obvious. Her original design from DMC3, her DMC4 design, which is my favorite look for the character, by the way, and her DMC5 design. I also feel you'd have the ability to toggle on or off her sunglasses, similar to the Hope skin. For Lady's pickaxe, I feel that's a tough one. I could just say Kalina Anna, and make that her back bling as well, since it's not like she doesn't use the massive thing as a melee weapon in the actual games. But I feel a little odd making her pickaxe a massive ass bazooka that she'd never shoot. Also, a part of me wonders if it on her back could potentially become a disadvantage for the player considering the sheer size of the weapon. You could easily argue just tilt it so it's not blocking the shoulder you aim over, but I want to at least try and come up with other ideas. Maybe have Lucia's cutlassers from DMC2? But that'd probably be weird since those aren't ladies' weapons at all, and it'd be strange to just take those from Lucia like that and not even include her as a skin. I guess we could just have her rip the blade off the front of the Kalina Anna and use that as a pickaxe. That's also a bit of a strange call in my opinion and would probably look weird. Maybe Jester's staff from DMC3, but like make it longer so it's two-handed? Maybe that could work. If we go that route, then I think Jester's ball thing from his boss fight should be the back bling, but that's only if we go that route specifically. You know, honestly, I'm just kind of stumped on Lady's pickaxe and back bling, if I'm being honest. And I'm not super sure about any of these. With all the other ones, I'm pretty determined on what I think are good ideas, but I'm kind of just throwing out ideas. So if any of you have any thoughts about this one, be sure to share them with me in the comments. You could also make her motorcycle from DMC3 a glider, similar to what I suggested with Dante and Cavalier. But that might be too similar to the Cavalier glider for it to be seen as worth doing. Realistically, I think that's where the skins would end. If Peak of Combat is anything to go off of, these 4 are like the go-to characters to use when it comes to picking DMC characters to represent the series in outside media. That said, I do have ideas for Trish and V as well, even if I don't see them as likely to even be skins in the first place. With V, I feel he'd just have his regular outfit and maybe his EX colors as an alt variant. he doesn't have a whole lot of designs, and by that I mean he has one design. I imagine you'll be able to change his hair from black to white if you want. Maybe they can make that a built-in emote, I don't know. His pickaxe would be his cane, of course, and it wouldn't double as a back bling like Rebellion or Red Queen. Instead, his back bling would be the UI symbols for Shadow, Griffin, and Nightmare. Speaking of which, my idea for V's glider would be Griffin, who he'd grab the leg of as he glides down, similar to how he does it in DMC5. I think it'd be neat if, when you have V's back bling equipped as well, the Griffin symbol would disappear to symbolize him being summoned whenever you're gliding. If V isn't a skin, I think having Griffin be Virgil's glider would be a good idea, similar to why I think V's book could work as his back bling. Griffin being a glider just seems like an obvious move to me, and it'd kind of be a shame if they didn't do it. Trish is simple. Her pickaxe would be the Devil Sword Sparta, and that double as the back bling. It kind of runs into the same issue I had with the Kalina Anna being Lady's back bling, being so big that I worry it might cause issues with seeing over the character's shoulder. But again, I think as long as you have it positioned to where the top part isn't blocking the shoulder the camera goes over when aiming, it should be fine. Plus, I literally cannot think of another back bling idea for Trish, not gonna lie. Her skins would be her DMC4 outfit, and Gloria as an alt. This is so her skins look distinct from one another, since most of her designs are just different takes on the whole tight leather pants and black corset design. I chose the DMC4 take for her default, since that's easily my favorite design for Trish. Now on to emotes, and I feel the easy answer is to say to include one of the EX dance taunts for DMC5 that costs like 3 million red orbs to get, but I want to suggest something different, that being Dante's Faust dance from DMC5 instead. The scene, I feel, is iconic enough to warrant making it an emote, and it'd be a fun reference. Plus, imagine popping that dance out after landing an epic headshot from halfway across the map. It'd be priceless, and could replace the weekend popular mode that I default to when I do exactly this. I am very annoying in Fortnite. With this, my job is technically done with the video already, but before we wrap it up, I want to discuss some additional things. One thing I have on my mind is maybe getting a Devil May Cry song as a jam track. I'm not going to get greedy, and I'm going to assume that we'd only get like one song realistically, which would most likely either be Devil Trigger or Bury the Light, because, well, come on now. It's certainly not going to be Subhuman or Crimson Cloud. And I have a strong feeling it'd be a song from DMC5 if we got any song at all. Personally, if you want what I want the most, I'd recommend Fire Inside, the new song from Peak of Combat, simply so it can be in a good free-to-play game, because fuck Peak of Combat. Plus, the song is genuinely just really fucking good. Going even further with DMC content in Fortnite since I still have you, maybe have Nevin be in the item shop as a guitar that you can buy. I mean, the TMNT had instruments themed after them that you could buy, so why not? Hell, throw in Dante's drum set from the first level of DMC3 as well, just for the fun of it. But Nevin as a guitar that you can buy and then use in-game to play songs or in festival seems like such a perfect idea that I feel like it'd be such a missed opportunity if they didn't do it. Along with that, I'd really like if the gallery music variant of Devil Trigger or the garage music from DMC5 were available as lobby music. But now I feel like I'm really overstepping out of the realms of reality and into a bit of a wishful fantasy, so to say. That's basically everything I've got for this video, so now we just wait and see how well this video ages when we actually get the DMC content in Fortnite, whenever that is. Also, being honest, I do kind of hope that DMC items coming to Fortnite might also mean other Capcom related stuff gets brought back to the item shop, like the Resident Evil and Street Fighter stuff, because I missed out on both of those when they first happened. But my main focus is on the DMC stuff, don't you worry. So anyway, this was a fun short video, something I'm not used to doing at all, that I felt like doing and putting out for February while I worked on the much larger video for March. Thank you for watching, and until next time, see ya.